Hello class, I am Frank Graham and this is Workload 57, an important English class on the UC Davis campus because if you got here, you probably need a little bit more work in English, and that's understandable. So our objective is to get you there the best we can. In the amount of time necessary for you to matriculate on to your other English classes. Now, if you're in the wrong classroom, that's perfectly understandable. This is a big campus with lots of classroom space and classrooms around campus. So check the board for the right section, the right hour. You can leave at the break if you want to, and stick around and see what this class is like. If you do not belong here, or you're welcome to, go ahead and leave the classroom now. So first things first, I want to introduce myself and get to know you a little bit because we'll be working together extensively this semester and forming teams, which is really exciting for me because it's so fun to see you make the friends in the classroom and to learn the language from your various experiences with language and go on and do well. So we'll do a number of things in class. First, I want to talk about myself, talk about you. You notice a 3x5 card in front of you as well as your syllabus. And does everybody have that? Everyone has the syllabus? Good deal. You have the 3x5 card. Excellent. And so on the 3x5 card, you're going to give me information about you, but first I'm going to tell you something about me, and we get to know each other that way. So my name is Mr. Graham, G-R-A-H-A-M. It's one syllable. In the South, where I'm from, some people pronounce it too, Graham, which is fine also. It's pronounced either way. So I'm fine with Frank or Mr. Graham or Graham or Professor or whatever you can come up with as long as it's polite. A little bit about myself and my passion for the language. I was a financial writer 22 years ago, and I loved the numbers. I liked working with numbers and presenting them in reports for a financial institution, and I felt the importance in that, but I started to really love language and the expression of language. And that kind of took off with me writing creatively, getting published, starting to do work around writing, more writing for writing purposes rather than working with numbers so much. And eventually I found my way up into education. I've been teaching here for a number of years. I just really love it, and I love working around language, and I hope you find something about it you like too. So on your card, I want to see, please put your name first and last. I would also like to hear something about you, something about your interests. So maybe you're interested in sports, or you're interested in the arts. I know I have an interest in both myself, and we'll talk more about that later. But please put some information like that on the card. Also, why are you in this class? Did you test into this class? Is that how it happened? Did you come up through the ESL system and that's why you're in here? Or is there some other reason? Please put that explanation on the card as well. So finally, some of you are from outside the area. You're from Southern California, or you're from outside California, or maybe you're from outside the US. I'd love to hear that information so I know a little bit more about you. And you can share this information in the icebreaker where you get to know other students here in class. As I said, this is much more team-oriented than maybe you're accustomed to in English. You'll be doing peer reviews of each other's work, and it is important to do your own work, but it is important to work with other people to produce that work because they'll give you good criticism on how to do it. If you're not familiar with the critique, process of critiquing other people's work will help you with that too. Notice that I have Canvas, the online computer internet portal, up on the screen, and this has your syllabus. You can go here at any time and check your grades, check your assignments. Even the note card you fill out today is possible through the Files section of Canvas. So later today, if you don't get around to the card in class and turn it in after class, go to Files and fill that out. Or you'll see your information has been entered by me onto the system so that I can keep track of it. All right. So with that said, I want to go through the syllabus some and examine our learning contract. You know, what are you in this for, and what is it going to take to finish the class correctly? First of all, you'll need to pick up certain books, and Strategies for Successful Writing is a rhetoric, teaches you about language. It is an essay reader, so it has a number of essays in here which are fine reading. And it has a homework section in the back which begins on page 550. 550 is the brown marked section on the back of the book. So you won't have a lot of homework in here. You'll have more papers, you'll have more editing process than you will homework, but we will do some work out of this, and it's a great book. Be sure to pick up the 11th edition. Edition 11 is the edition we're using for this classroom. Okay. 50 Essays by Samuel Cohen. Excellent group of essays. This is also possible to get online. I like the hardback version because I can read some of these essays that I love in bed before I go to sleep at night, and oftentimes students do, but be sure to pick that up for cheap. MLA Handbook, 8th edition, is not a required text, but it's important. So it's available in the library. It's on reserve under my name if you need or want to pick it up. But be aware that we will be working from the MLA Handbook, 8th edition. Not heavily, but for your papers, we'll come to it fairly often. So it might be of value to pick it up early in the semester if you can find it cheap. Otherwise, check the reserve section. Now, about my expectations for the class, avoid plagiarism. This is in the syllabus, which we will go through. I'm going to go through some of it now, along with the learning contract. But avoid plagiarism. That means, avoid any kind of reference to someone else's work without quoting it. I'll teach you more about how to avoid plagiarism, but for now, know that you cannot use someone else's work and pass it off as your own. That's a serious issue. Behavior in class. I expect you to be respectful. Please turn off your cell phones until the break or until we end class. Actually, we don't have a break. We're an hour and 20 minutes, so we might take 5 minutes occasionally, but we usually press on. Okay. All right. So, with that said, I feel really fortunate to be working with you. You look like a super group of students. I've read some of your profiles, and we have very smart students in here. So do not be discouraged about the fact that you ended up in a class that's preparing you for future English classes, right? I know that you come from diverse and wonderful experiences that I can learn from and that you'll learn from with each other. That knowledge is super important to all of us. So whether you're interested in science or math, or computer science or biology, all of that is important, as well as your personal culture and background. We'd love to hear it. We'd love to hear about it. You'll get a chance to share that in class. This is a cooperative exercise. So with that said, we're moving on to our next section, and I just need to deal with some technology quickly, and I'll be back with you in just a moment.